Right, welcome to the Highway Podcast. I'm your host, Bob, where we explore everything martial arts, NLP, Buddhism, even Greek philosophy. And today, I haven't got a Greek philosopher in with me. I've actually got Martin Sillitoe, or should I say Martin Bulldog Sillitoe. How are you doing, Martin?
How you doing, Bob? All right?
I'm good, mate. So, we were having a conversation the other day on the phone, and we first met when I was teaching you NLP. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, but that must have been over 10 years, 10, 12 years ago.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
And so, obviously, you've been doing the martial arts a long time. So, I guess that's our other sort of connection. Although we've never met each other through martial arts, we have a common interest, don't we, which is the martial arts. Now, this is the usual question that everybody asks, which is, when did you start and why?
Well, I started when I was about 14.
Right.
And 13 to 14, and it was the era in the 70s when the Bruce Lee films came out.
Yeah.
Just to show you my age then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, going to the cinema and watching Bruce Lee and anything, any like the Kung Fu films and all the Chinese or Hong Kong films. So for me, I looked for a local martial arts school, and the nearest one was a karate school in East Ham, Hartley Centre in East Ham,
right,
in London, East London. So that's how I started my martial arts, and also at the time I was in the senior school. I was doing judo, so I was learning judo at the school. Also at the same time, I was going 2 nights and a Sunday morning going to the karate school.
That's a good school, isn't it? Doing judo. You had judo classes at school.
Yeah, we had judo.
A rough school then, was it?
Well, no. Well, no, we just had a judo instructor.
Oh, yeah.
He came to our physical education.
Oh, right.
And he came down and taught us judo.
Wow.
And I do remember once when he actually showed us a choke. He was wearing gis. And then I done this choke, and the young lad who I was with, or training with, he was turning blue. And I was sort of like, hey, I can do this choke. And then the instructor said, Martin, let go. He's about to go. Like, so I thought, yeah, I'm sorry. Well, that's how I started judo at the Brampton Manor School in East London, and also I was doing the karate Ishimu in the Hartley Centre in East London, East Ham.
Wow. Okay. I don't know whether I guess people won't even know the instructor, but who was he? Who was the instructor? Can you remember?
The judo instructor.
No, the karate guy.
Will Vernon. Vernon.
Oh, right. Okay. I think I've heard that name, you know.
Will Vernon, sensei, and he was a student of Tiki Donovan.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's where I've heard the name. I've heard Vernon, and that'll be linked to Tiki because, I know of Tiki Donovan. He was a big name in karate back in the 70s, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the English coach.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tiki. I believe he's passed on now, hasn't he? He's died now. I think he died a few years ago, maybe.
Who's that?
Tiki.
No, he's still alive.
You're joking. Oh, well, if he's listening, I do apologise.
No, he was meant to be at the martial arts show May this year. With Brian Jacks, the judo guy.
Oh, Jackson, yeah. Brian Jacks, yeah.
And Tiki Donovan spends time in the UK and also time in Thailand.
Okay. So he's sort of living in Thailand some of the time and the UK some of the time.
Yeah, the same as Brian Jackson does.
Right, okay.
And Thailand. So, yeah, that's how I got into the martial arts. Through Will Vernon. he was my sensei. Yeah.
All right. So you obviously it's a bit of a, because obviously what you're known for now is you know, the stick, the Escrima,
Yeah.
which is obviously very different to Japanese martial arts, isn't it? In many ways.
Oh, yeah, it's very different. I studied in karate for many years, and at the end of the day, politics got in the way.
Okay.
And so there's in every art form, there's some sort of politics going on. So I started to look for something else.
Yeah.
And I bought a couple of Eskrima sticks, and I was looking for someone to teach me. And I come across a guy named Steve Merritt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he's a student of Bob Green. So he, I got involved. I got involved with Steve. He started teaching me Carly, JKD, Charlie, with Dan Inosanto.
Yeah.
Teaches with Bob Green. Then from now, I met a guy, Joe Acacilio, a Filipino guy living in East London, and I was training with him for 2 or 3 years, and garden.
Yeah.
And so then I sort of like come away from the Japanese side of it and into the Filipino side of it.
Yeah. It is like I say, I mean, Southeast Asian martial arts are, I think, a lot more fluid than some of the Japanese systems, which are like very regimented, aren't they?
Yeah. I was more or less doing I was doing different karate systems, and I ended up doing traditional karate.
Yeah.
Which is, like I said, more military style, more rigid, and you move a punch, or you got to move it this way and that. But I find when I got these sticks and I start learning, and I did have trouble to get more fluent.
Right.
But then after practicing more and more with the sticks, and also you train with a partner, and he's coming in and sort of like coming number one strike, you block, you transition over, and then it's sort of like he's got my mind working more so, and I start to quite enjoy it, and I quite like it. Then I started to leave the karate side of it, or the Japanese side of it. Then I started learning the Escrima.
But you did get a high grade in karate, didn't you?
Yeah, I got 4th Dan.
Yeah, which is pretty good. A good grade to have to finish off with, isn't it?
Yeah, 4th Dan. I was given the title Renshi.
Oh yeah.
Expert. And then at the same time, I was learning Kobudo weapons like the sai, tompa, and the bow. So I was learning them. I was learning weaponry at that stage.
Yeah.
But then I started going for the short sticks. Right.
And that's when it sort of, I guess, did you think, I found it, this is what I wanted to do?
Yeah. It's the same thing when I was doing on the karate side, because when I was trying to find the Eskrima, before I find the Eskrima, I was learning Ju-Jitsu.
Oh, okay.
I was learning training with people I know, and sort of like I like the locks and the throws.
Yeah.
And which I've adapted that into the Eskrima.
Right. Okay.
But I was trying different systems, but I wasn't quite happy. I don't know if that's the word for it.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, it didn't feel right.
Weren't settled. So I was trying different things, and of course I bought these Eskrima sticks, and then I start get more into it. So then I was training under like Steve Merritt, then a job with Joe Acacilio, and then Grandmaster Lilo from the Philippines. So I was training in different. Then that's when I come to meet Nick Elizar. from
Right.
Nickelstick Eskrima.
Yeah.
And that. So he inspired me more because I tried running Arnis, Doce Pares, Kalintaw, Kapatiran Arnis, so many different systems. But when I come to Nickelstick Eskrima, which is a one stick art and it's more adaptable for the street, and it's close quartered. I quite like it, and I've got into it more so.
Right. Did you go to the Philippines to study that as well?
Yeah, at the time I was at the Philippines, I was invited by Joe Ziegler, by Joe, back in the early, just like 2004, something like that.
Yeah.
So he invited me over to Angeles, which is 2 hours away from Manila.
Right.
So, I was like training with Lilac, Grandmaster Lilac, which is Kalintaw. So that was my first time going to the Philippines.
What did you think when you went there?
Scary.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, scary. Because I arrived with another guy, and we landed that night. So we got a taxi, and then have you ever been to the Philippines, Bob?
No, not the Philippines. Thailand, downtown Bangkok. Not very nice.
I don't know if you haven't seen it anywhere else, but they quite use the car horn a lot.
Oh, okay, like Italy.
Italy, yeah.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, over here is more like for road rage, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. We think it's road rage, but it's not to them. They just do it all the time.
Yeah, then sort of like I was amazed. Why is he beeping his horn? And then as I learned soon afterwards, is to wear that I'm coming or crossing or and so on. But when we arrived at a hotel in Angeles and we checked in and we decided to walk about, then we see like security guards at bars and clubs and restaurants, even the McDonald's. They all got guns, like or shotgun. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm out here for a good 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm gonna get shot. Like,
Well, it's not as it's not as bad as the East End then.
Well, yeah, there's stabbings and shootings in East End.
Yeah.
But in the East End you don't see it.
No. It's all hidden, isn't it? You don't.
Yeah. In the Philippines, they quite bluntly they show it and hold it and you thought, wow, I just behave and do as we told. And
So when you saw that, like, and you said, it was quite scary. How long did it take for you to get sort of used to it? Because obviously you must have done,
Yeah, after a couple of days out there, now I was training with the Kalintaw system, because we got not used to the with GM Lilac, and Joe was he's like Filipino himself. He gave me the rundown.
Right, okay.
The don'ts, and I abide that.
Yeah.
So, but after I say like 3 days, I was sort of used to it, and sort of like I'm not a person to go out for trouble and nothing like. I just buy the culture and the rules, and discipline from other when I go to another country.
Yeah, of course.
No matter what other country, I respect their culture and their rules, and that's what I always did. That's what I've done.
Yeah.
So me being told that by Joe, and I felt quite comfortable afterwards. And then, because I thought I'll have a language barrier, but they all speak American English.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad then.
It was okay, yeah. And when I get lost, what am I doing here for holiday? And I said, I'm training. And when they say training, what, Taekwondo? No. No. Aikido, because Aikido and Taekwondo is quite big.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, quite big. So when I said Escrima, and they go to me, what? Escrima, Arnis, stick fighting. And they go, no. I said, well, it's your Filipino martial art.
Yeah.
Some of the people didn't know.
That's mad. You would think everybody would know.
Yeah.
That's the impression you have, isn't it? That's the impression you have. That it's their national art, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, you go there and really, I said, yeah, well, I'm here to train and to learn the art of your stick. And I go, oh, right, okay. Then I'll get a question: have I been in prison? The reason why was on the tattoos I've got.
Yeah, same in Thailand. It's the same in Thailand.
Like so now when I say no, and I spend nights in the police cell, but but not actually in prison. But I said no, he's a tattoo which got a meaning. And the first time was scary for the first 3-4 days, but after that, I felt okay. I felt good.
Yeah, I think it's like, you know, when anybody goes to the Far East, it's very different, isn't it? If people haven't been at the Far East, it's hard to describe how different it is, isn't it? And you've just said it yourself. What you did was just got into the culture and respect their traditions and laws, and then people sort of respect you, don't they?
Yeah.
And then what I found, particularly in Thailand, is, well, they're just people, you know, just with different ideas, that's all. And you get nice people and you get crap people, you know. But the majority of people I've met in places like that have been fine, you know, they want to help you, really. Did you find that as well?
I did. I did find that, but I find that in the Philippines, that because you're a foreigner, and I class you as foreigners. Not all, but some trying to. How can I put it? Trying to rip you off.
Yeah. Well, I think that happens.
Yeah,
that happens. Yeah, that happens everywhere, doesn't it? Yeah.
But I've gone all right with them. I enjoyed the company of them, and I like their culture and food, especially the food.
Especially the food. I've never been to the Philippines, so what's their food like?
It's between, if I'm right, because my wife's Filipino.
Right, okay, right.
So, and I think she's in the other room. She might be listening.
So you got to be careful.
It's between like a Malaysian and Chinese.
Oh, okay.
They eat a lot of rice. They do adobe, chicken adobe, pork adobe.
Right.
Pancit, which is noodles.
Right.
So he's Asian, Asian food. But I thought it's Asian food, but it's more. I've been told it's more Malaysian and Chinese.
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it, for where the Philippines sort of is? It's sort of in that area, isn't it? In the
Philippines is here.
Yeah.
And then in between you've got the Malaysian, and you've got a lot of you got some Chinese influence in the Philippines as well.
Yeah.
So the food's lovely.
So you found this place obviously to training on when you first went over there. What was the training like? I'm gonna assume it was pretty hard.
Oh yeah, we have to be there sort of like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And Garlo, Grandmaster Garlo, he was so strict,
right.
And which I quite liked.
Yeah.
And the system what I was learning at the time was a thrusting system.
Oh, so right, okay.
So, and using the top of the stick and also the button application.
Yeah.
So everything was thrusting, one stick and double stick.
Right.
And you train up to like 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
And you have water breaks. That's how you have to take loads of water.
Yeah.
Because it's so humid
Yeah.
out there in the Philippines. I suppose it's a bit the same in Thailand.
Thailand, yeah. You've got to keep drinking bits of water in between, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. So yeah, the training was. I love the training out there, and I was asking for. I always ask questions, and the locks and the throws and the trappings. So yeah, I quite enjoyed the training out there with Grandmaster Gala.
How did it differ from, or if it did, from what Steve was teaching you back in England? You know, the JKD sort of Inosanto style of Escrima.
Yeah, it sent stuff. I did like it, but I wanted to learn more.
Yeah.
So that's why I started to learn from Joe. So he got me more on more. It broadened my. That's what it broadened my mind, my eyes.
Yeah.
It's not just one, but there's many systems. So yeah, I start to look elsewhere, not intentionally, but just curious.
Yeah.
So I was curious I wonder what they do, and what's that like. So I just start to train more, and then when I went to the Philippines, that even sort of like settled my mind. This is the place where you got to go.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I had an old student of mine years ago, Tony Agostini, who I met him actually, and he was I think he just won the World Eskrima Championships back in the 90s. And he told me about the Philippines, and it's exactly what you say. You know, the culture is very different. The training is unbelievably hard, 3-4 hours a day. Lots of injuries as well. He said he got a lot. Did you get? Yeah, you're nodding. So
you get bruises on your forearm.
Yeah,
and also bruises and on your joints of your hands, on your fingers.
Yeah.
Is where you get pumped with the stick, and also the head as well.
Yeah, that's not so bad though, is it?
You stopped the block there. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Doing a roof block with your head.
From there.
Yeah. It's it because when he's hitting you in the head, you can stab him, can't you? Yeah. So, just to get this right, it's the style you're doing is a blender wax style. Is that? Am I right? Am I saying it right?
Nickelstick, World Nickelstick Eskrima blender wax style. Nickelstick is my grandmaster's name, the Comedies. Elizar. So Nick is Nick. Okay. EL. Okay. So Nick is his shorter name for Nick Comedies.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you got Elizar, which has got the EL. So you put the EL at Nick. So you got Nickel.
Okay. That's where I was wondering where it come from. Like, so it's his name, basically.
Yes, his name.
Yeah.
So when and the carabao, which is the Filipino national animal. So that's the logo.
That's what the logo's about. Okay. It makes sense now. Because when you first see it, you think, where does the name come from? You know, it's one of the questions I was going to ask you. But yeah, well, we know now. So he's got this group, obviously, organization in the Philippines. Are you like his European representative, sort of?
I'm a UK representative.
UK rep, yeah.
UK rep and an Ireland. So I've got a student who represents me in Ireland, Noel McHugh. So he represents me in Wexford, in Ireland.
Right.
And we've got representatives in France, Germany, Russia, India, Italy. We've got one in Okinawa.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hong Kong. USA.
Worldwide, isn't it?
Yeah, many countries.
Wow. Okay. So
Poland, yeah, Poland.
Oh, right. Okay. So virtually everywhere, I would say. What about Greenland? Hey, you never know. There's somebody in Greenland listening now going, "Ooh,
why not?"
Be like an Eskimo, you know.
Probably a bit cold, yeah.
Well, at least you'd have plenty of padding on. You wouldn't get hurt. You'd be all wrapped up.
Like. Yeah.
So the sticks, because I've been involved in Escrima myself, not obviously to the level you have, and I know the sticks and the systems have different lengths and different weights of sticks. Are they shorter? Are they longer? Or does it matter? I mean, you know.
Well, normally the standard length is around 26 or 28 inch.
Okay.
But different systems. Well, one system use a stick 32 inches long.
Right. Okay.
Another system uses a stick which is about 20 inches long.
Oh, right. So quite short then.
Yeah, quite short. But I tend to use a stick around about 26, 28.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'll cut them, and I tell my students, is to make the stick more comfortable for you for training.
Yeah.
But you must be able to pick up any stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
To train and use.
Yeah.
But at the same time.
Yeah.
I tend to cut my sticks down and feel for comfortable for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you know, a weapon is got to be made a part of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now that's something I was going to come on to. So you've sort of mentioned it. It's about, when you're teaching beginners weapons, it's a nightmare, isn't it? Trying to get them to understand that the weapon is part of you, essentially.
They have no control.
No. Well, they sort of tense up and sort of do this sort of thing. It's like rather than sort of flow with the movement.
Yeah.
So how have you got any? Because I mean, I've got my own ideas on it, but this is your field. I mean, have you got any ideas on how you would get people to feel like the stick, the knife, the weapon is part of them? I mean, are there any drills that you do? It's probably difficult to explain. Like,
what I do, I tell people to relax.
Yeah,
so
that's the key thing, isn't it?
Yeah, relax, and also, but at the same time, make a firm grip onto the stick.
Yeah,
onto your weapon, but still feel relaxed. And then I'll get them to do what we first do is the 12 angles.
Oh yeah.
So I teach them to do the 12 angles, and then we do what we call defensive defense,
right?
Which is the counter for the 12 angles.
Yeah.
So once they learn that, then I'll get them to go with a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we use the 12 angles against the defensive defense.
Yeah.
Angles.
Yeah.
So by doing that, so if I'm showing someone, I'll do the angle one first.
Yeah.
Then they will block, tap down, and return strike.
Yeah.
So you're controlling their feed.
Yeah.
So then you can feel the way when they do the return block.
Yeah.
And then when they hit it hard, and you can feel it in the stick, the vibration in the stick. And I say, just relax. And I always say, don't let the stick control your hand. Let the hand control the stick.
Yeah. Right.
So that's why I say, don't let the stick control your hand. Let your hand control your stick. So it all depends how they commit to it and how they progress to it. Because some student they can pick it up within say 2 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks. Another student, it might take that little bit longer. So you just have to persevere, be patient, and then in the end it'll click, and I go, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So it's a matter of I do one strike and they block, counter and return.
Yeah.
And that's how we build up. And once they learn that, then I start what I call added tools.
Yeah.
Added tool is like you put the disarms in, you put the trappings in,
yeah,
you put the locks in, you put in the extra what we call multiple hittings, semi-hitting. So I'll call them added tools.
Okay.
So call the system is what we call the AGA or placao, is that we keep moving. So you're moving all the time. Okay. Then once you're confident and you feel the student is more relaxed but more controlled, then you start putting in the added tools.
Okay. So, you know, you're doing your 12 angles, which is common in Eskrima, isn't it? But you said as well that the system that you're doing is more thrust. You do a lot more thrust centric, I guess.
Well, that was a time when I was learning Kalintaw.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I've jumped. Carly. Yeah.
That's why I'm doing the Kalintaw.
Okay.
But this one, when I met Nick back in the 2000 something, 5, 6, he's more a close quarter system. Because some Filipino Eskrima systems, you got your long range, you got your medium range, and you got your short range distance.
Yeah.
Right. And I always like to fight close range.
Right.
When I was in the competition, that's when I got my name Bulldog.
I was going to ask you how you got that.
So when I was fighting in the English, European, or the world, okay, I was because I say I'm a big lad. And I'll just go in. And some fighters, when you spar, I don't know if it's the same with you, Bob, in Muay Thai, is that you got to get your distance.
Distance is crucial, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I like to fight close, and some fighters didn't like that, so they tend to back away, because they're a medium range fighter or a long range fighter. So they just pick and trying to get the points with the stick. Yeah. But when you're in close, some fighters can't be in that space.
No, they don't like it, do they? It's just like you say, it's the same in Thai. You tend to get tall fighters who've got long legs and long arms, want to keep you at distance. So you have to fight inside, and that messes all their weapons up, doesn't it? So it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's the same for me in the fight. So of course I keep on going close, and I'll just go in and bang, and I'll just check and bang, 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 and that's where I got my name Bulldog.
Yeah.
So even when I speak to my Grandmaster, Nick Elizar, he don't call me Martin, he calls me Bulldog.
He calls you Bulldog. That's quite nice, isn't it? You've got a tattoo as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a tattoo.
Is that in case is that when you get older, in case you forget?
Yeah, exactly. What's your name? Oh yeah, Bulldog.
Too many sticks to the head, like I know. I have it on my T-shirt in the gym. My name Bob, just in case. I have to look at it now and again and go, I'm the teacher. It's terrible, isn't it? It blows to the head, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll wear a helmet, so it's not too bad.
So in the Philippines, do they train with helmets as well then?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Yeah.
They train with helmets with a 12-bar grill, which is a new wall system now, and you must have 12 bars.
Okay.
The reason is before they had 10, so the gap was bigger into the grill.
Right.
And the reason why they changed it from 10 to 12 is because the stick, when you fight, the stick will go through the grill.
Ooh.
Sometimes it's accidental. Yeah, it happened to me in the British. A guy come towards me, and I went to hit him.
Yeah.
But he came in so fast, and I ended up doing a punyo to the grill.
Yeah.
And then because he got stuck into his grill helmet, I let go.
Yeah.
And then he went down like King Howard with the arrow in his eye.
So he's got a stick stuck out of his.
Stick out there and just sort of like.
Did anybody get a picture of that?
No, I got a picture of it. No.
Was he okay? Was he?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. But then that's when they start changing the rules because from 10 bar down to 12 bar.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, yeah, I like that image of King Harold, like 1066, with a rat and cane stick out of your head.
as I've done it, and I realised I went forward and I couldn't pull it out because of the force. So I just let go.
Yeah.
And he went down on his knees.
Yeah.
And I just stepped back and I just put my arms up.
Yeah.
So, you know, but he was okay.
So you've had a lot of competitions in your time then?
Yeah, I fought in the British, fought in the Europe. I got picked for fight for Great Britain. It was in the European, and I ended up going in the Philippines to fight in the World Championships. And that's when I met my wife.
Ah, right, at the World Championships. How? Go on, tell me, how did you do in the World Championships?
For the veterans division, I got bronze medal. So bronze in the double and bronze in the single.
Wow, that's pretty good then, isn't it?
Yeah, not bad for an old guy.
That's what I didn't want to say that, like, but so you know that is good, isn't it? Because I mean, there must have been hundreds of competitors.
There's many countries fighting.
Yeah.
And the guys are mainly fought because I remember once when I was out there and the British captain come up to me and said, "Mark, we've got too many guys in the heavyweight division." I go, "Okay." He said, "We're going to put you in the super heavyweight division."
So these guys must have been massive.
Yeah. So I goes, "Okay." So I still fought. Oh yeah, you still fight. I was the only one in the super heavyweight division.
Right.
I said, "Okay, Bob." My name was called up, and you put your helmet on, put your arm up.
Yeah.
And my corner man, you have a corner man. And he goes, "Mark, you seen your opponent?" I goes, "No." He goes, "Have a look, sir, man." I said, "What?" I just went from the ground upwards. I thought, shit.
I bet you didn't think shit. I think you probably a bit more than that, like.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was an effect.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. You just being polite.
mainly fought Americans, Canadians, and Australians. They're the bigger guys. Filipinos, they're all slim, small.
Yeah.
But there's type of guys. But I'm mainly fought, the bigger, like American, Australia, Canadian.
It's like that in Thailand. You know, Thais don't get any heavier than 60, 68, maybe 70 kilos. It's very rare to get anybody heavier than that. Most of them are around about 55 kilos. You know, they're like boys. When you see them fighting, they come out of the ring and you go, "Oh my God, he's like a child, about that big." You know, but obviously up in the ring, they look bigger, like in the, you know, they're fighting, so their muscles are all ripped, like. But the Filipinos are tiny as well, aren't they?
But they're good. Obviously, they're. I think at the time we had about 30 odd people in our team.
Wow, that's really good, isn't it? You see, because it doesn't because obviously we don't have any magazines now, you know, like we used to have back in the day. So you don't really hear about these competitions until somebody puts it on Facebook or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame, really, isn't it?
Well, there's supposed to be the World Championships this year in the Philippines back in this month. Yeah, it's supposed to be this month.
Was it supposed to be? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's been cancelled. I do believe next year now.
So, do you take a team out there yourself now, or do you not? Or you're not involved in it now?
All I do now is I teach and coach my guys, and our club produced 8 British champions and 2 European champions.
Wow! Oh, that's good, isn't it?
And I'm the only Kalintaw system in the UK which actually do sparring with other FMA systems.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm the only Kalintaw club where actually do sparring, full contact sparring. That's
so
lower.
Yeah. So you're the chief instructor then, are you, for the whole thing in the UK, obviously?
Yeah, for Nickelstick Kalintaw. Yeah, for Nickelstick. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously you got another Kalintaw system, which is under Cottrell, which is up north, but he's under a different grandmaster with Bobby Tawada.
Right.
So he don't do. He must be do privately. I don't know.
Right.
On the circuit, no, they don't. But I take my lads if they want to fight. So they say to me, I want to fight in a competition, then I will. I help them, train them, coach them, and I go along and I'll be their corner man.
Yeah.
And I do ref and judge at the competitions, but if one of my guys fighting, then I sort of like I stop. Then I just concentrate on my guys.
Right. So this, I was going to ask you about that. The rules. Obviously, it's probably going to be different with different organisations, but in the World Championships, how do they? I mean, obviously, it's a point system. How does it work? How does the system work?
Like boxing.
Oh, right. Oh, so you like have rounds?
Yeah, rounds.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
We have rounds. We have 3 rounds. 3 1-minute rounds with a 30-second break.
Yeah.
And if it's a draw in the 3rd round, then you fight to the 4th.
So there has to be a winner.
There has to be a winner. And if it's a draw still, then you get the lineup of the 3 judges. They face towards you and are not allowed to look at each other.
Right.
And the referee goes, okay, please give your result now. And they either go right or they go left.
Okay.
The fighter.
Yeah, yeah. So it sounds like a pretty fair way to do it. Like, how did so is it like a point system? Obviously, so
it's a point system. Yeah.
Yeah.
The points go for blocking the stick or the hits. Because you've got a metal grill.
Yeah.
People tend to try and hit that, so the judge is listening to the grill. You know, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Or do you hear the stick hitting the body, which sometimes, if you do a powerful shot, is really is allowed input noise.
Yeah. What about like wrist strikes? Do they count for much? You know, like attacking the wrist or
hitting on the hand, disarming straight away. That's it.
Is that it? Is it if you disarm somebody, that's it? Is it?
Yeah. If you get 3 disarms, in the 1st round or 2nd round, fight's over.
Oh, okay. So it is quite similar in many ways to boxing, point system. You know. Yeah.
If you come 10, then judges must look, and if the judge sees anything, he must tell the ref.
Yeah.
Or the corner man has got a dispute, or he's not happy, then he must go to the ref.
Okay.
Then the ref will go to the adjudicators, and they will decide, and then the ref will call the 3 judges if there's a dispute.
Right.
Or and have a little meeting, whatever.
Yeah. So exactly like boxing, really, isn't it? It's the same principle in Muay Thai as well, you know.
Based on the system's based on boxing. Yeah.
That makes sense, really, doesn't it? It's a tried and tested method, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not allowed to punch to the.
I was just going to ask you: are you allowed to hit them with a live hand, with your other hand?
Not in what I do, but there's another one really called something like Dog Brothers.
Oh, like the Dog Brothers, yeah.
But they're the ones where you can punch, kick, bite, pinch, whatever you want to do. But the system-wide competition, what we do is just hitting, blocking, and checking.
Right.
And you're not allowed to check to the face.
Okay.
But you're only allowed to check, not excessive checking.
Right.
You know what? Just like a check.
Just a touch sort of thing.
Yeah. yeah, no swearing,
Mm.
no kicking. Yeah, so that's it's still intense, and you still get hurt.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can imagine.
And the target is from above the knee to the head.
Right, so anywhere from above the knees,
Yeah.
so the thighs are a target as well.
Yeah, yeah.
That'll hurt.
I love hitting the legs.
I was going to say that's going to sting a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was crafty because I put leg pads on.
Oh, okay. That, yeah, I think I would as well.
In the day when I was competition, a lot of people got ice hockey shorts.
All right. Yeah.
But nowadays, while I go to competitions, no one wears what I've seen wear leg protectors.
Oh, you'd go straight for the leg, wouldn't you?
So that's what I say to my guys.
Yeah.
Hit them in the legs above the knee.
Absolutely, yeah.
And as you come down one, so you and when I say to them, I go, we do plan one, because sometimes you can play mind games.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got a corner man, and you say, "What you go? What plan A? Go into A, or go to B?" And then the other one's thinking, "Oh, what's he saying? Plan A, plan B?"
Yeah.
All games, and I learned that in the competition. Is when the fight, you go out the fight and goes, you touch sticks and touch hands, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm tired. I've been out all night," and you think, "Yeah." But next thing you know, he comes out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I thought you're supposed to be tired, but it's all mind games.
Of course, it's like that in Muay Thai as well. You play games with each other, you know. I get my guys before their fight to go to sleep. Don't go on the pads. Don't go mad. Just go to sleep. Just pretend you're not bothered.
Yeah.
You know. And then when you climb in the ring, sort of like, you know, or you know, it's just a game, isn't it? You know. And you can see the other corner looking because they're trying to suss you out, like. Yeah. And then you come out like a demon, like, and kill them. You know, it's good fun, isn't it? It's all part of it. So with the competition, obviously that's single stick. Do you use double sticks in competition as well?
Stick and double stick and long stick.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's lots of different categories then.
Yeah, there's salt stick, sorry. You spar.
Yeah.
Okay, then you use the double stick.
Yeah.
Okay. If you lose one stick, okay, and the referee says carry on fighting, then you carry on fighting. So you can be fighting a guy with like you got one stick, and I'll be fighting a guy who's got two sticks.
Right.
So the referee says stop. Okay. And because I've got disarm, then obviously I lose a point.
Yeah.
Like, and then you got the long stick, which is we don't actually use the long stick, wooden long stick. We use like a padded stick.
Right. Okay.
Because as you know, if you hit like a bow and you take a swing, it is a full.
It's got a lot more power, hasn't it?
Power.
So and you've got the reach, of course. You've got the reach. I mean, I'm assuming thrusts would score as well.
You're not allowed to do the stop.
Oh, you're not allowed. Oh, could you take somebody's throat out?
Yeah. They stopped that now. So
that's the fun bit. Surely that's the fun.
I'll do that. I'll do that in class.
Yeah.
In bar, and I said thrust, but not to
film. Take somebody's head off, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I try not to get them to do the head. Sometimes it's by accident.
Yeah.
But I tend to do the punios and the thrusting to the body.
Yeah.
And also to the arms.
Yeah.
Because when you block, sometimes you can use the butt of the stick to do the arm and transition over.
Okay. Yeah. That would hurt.
Do a disarm on it or a trap in.
So, what about knives? Because obviously in Eskrima, you use lots of different weapons in some systems. Do you use knives as well?
We use training knives.
Yeah.
And normally what I do, you wear the specs, safety specs, or you can wear your helmet.
Yeah.
You wear a neck protector.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and then a white T-shirt and a groin box. Groin box is very essential.
I think that's true of any fighting art, to be honest. Although there has been times when I've fought without a box, and you pay for it if you get hit, don't you? We've all been. I've been whacked in the groin with a stick. That wasn't nice. That was in training as well. So it was a student accidentally hit me in the bollocks.
I've seen people gone down when I was squad training. People said, "No, I ain't gonna put my box on," but you're sparring and you just caught their balls and
it's not good, is it?
And they go down like a sack of potatoes.
Oh yeah, you do.
In the ring, you should have put a box on. So, and when I'm teaching in class and I do multiple hittings, and it's like one of my guys do number one, I block the ball, and sometimes it's pure accidental. I just catch their ball bag.
With
my stick, which is even worse.
Right?
It's just purely accidental, and they just and they feel the pain for the next day or so.
So for anybody listening, a ball bag is your scrotum. We're talking about not a bag to put your balls in. Well, it is a ball. It is a bag to put your balls in, but we're talking about another type of ball, aren't we? It reminds me of a story we haven't got time for, but it's something completely different. So you're using obviously edge weapons and sticks, double sticks. And what about empty hands? Obviously, you've done jiu-jitsu, you've done judo. When it comes to the practical side of stick fighting sort of thing.
We call it mano, which is empty hands. So basically, when you start learning in our system, we learn with a weapon first, then we do with the hands. So what you can do with the stick, you can do with the hands. So it's more the same, just slightly different concepts. That's the word. It's just slightly adjust.
Well, that's what when I first saw Escrima back in the 80s, a guy called Steve Powell up in Manchester, and we were talking about this the other day. That's what I loved about it. The fact that you could make the transition from a stick to a knife to an empty hand, and it was similar. The technique was very flexible, which when I was at that age, I was into Thai anyway. I'd already started getting into Thai, but I'd done a lot of karate, like yourself. So picking up a stick, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was better than a jaw or a bow, better than a sai or a tonfa. It's just that freedom, isn't it, we talked about?
Oh, yeah. It's well, I say, you got to be relaxed. All weapons, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. I noticed you've got some weapons on your wall there as well.
Sorry?
You've got some weapons on the wall behind you.
Yeah, my little live.
Yeah.
So that one is the bolo. Bolo there. And then you got the Chris sword.
All right. Oh, Chris as well. Okay.
Chris sword, and there's the Camberland.
Right.
Sword.
Well, I'd love to, because we're coming at the end of the hour now, right?
Is that quick? Right.
Oh, unbelievable. Honestly, Martin, it just flies by, honestly. So what I'd like to do, and I think people would be interested as well, if you're happy to, we'll do another one in a couple of weeks' time, right? And we'll talk about the weapons and the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll get all the weapons out for you.
That would be brilliant. I mean, I'd love to do that. I mean, as you can see, like a typical martial artist, I've got my sabers and I've got a broadsword. I've got 12 swords, but we're not going to say who's got a bigger sword, you know what I mean? My sword's bigger than yours.
I love it.
But I thought, because we're going to work online today, I thought I'd better prepare myself. I've got to say, just in case you were thinking of attacking me.
No. I'll just show you a quick bit.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, can you see this?
I can.
Down. Okay. Now you see down there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look. Right, we've got to talk about all of these at the next one.
Karambits.
Yeah, the Crambit. I mean,
Yeah.
people, you know, I mean, I know what they are, and I've got a little bit of an idea, but I've got a lot of questions I want to ask you, because I know certainly a lot of people that are involved in other martial arts know very little. They think they know about Escrima. They think they know about Kali. They think they know about, oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and all machetes, swords. Yeah.
You can always tell a man by his weapons.
Yeah. And this
And you've got the, yeah, I recognise that. Yeah.
So, yeah.
We've got to come on again and do some more stuff on all of these. That would be great.
Sure. Yeah.
No. You see, because
big axe down there. I do tomahawk as well. So
yeah, I saw that on the website, tomahawk. I thought, ooh.
Yeah. I learned that from Peter Wakehalf.
Oh, right.
Sammy.
Yeah.
So I trained with a very good friend of mine, Paul Bennett.
Right.
And he's the one that got me into tomahawk many years ago. And he said, "Oh, would you come to Austria with me to train with Peter Wakehalf?" And I goes, "Yeah, okay. Tomahawk. Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Tomahawk. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and the axe. So."
Yeah. Have you got like an Indian headdress as well?
It's the Viking.
Oh, it's a Viking. Yeah. I gathered that because he's Austrian. I just thought I was trying to be funny then. It didn't work. Thanks for that, Martin. I better close this show now. Right. So I'm going to say thanks. We're going to get you back on. So you guys that are listening, we're going to get Martin on again in a couple of weeks, and we're going to get him to look at the different weapons. We're going to talk about the different edge weapons, the applications, and how much they probably cost him. I've got a lot of swords. I know they're expensive. So, Martin, I just want to say thanks, mate. And
thank you.
I can't wait for the next bit. All right, mate.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Thank you very much.
Thank you.